A love letter buried for 20 years. Changed everything. A hidden message uncovers a love that never died. It was a sweltering afternoon in Ogbome, a peaceful riverside town where time seemed to move slower than the rest of the world. Adanna, a woman in her early 40s, stood in the courtyard of her late grandmother's house, a machete in hand trimming overgrown weeds. She had returned home after years in Lagos, seeking some peace after her divorce. The house smelled of memories, aged wood, dried herbs, and a faint hint of palm oil from the kitchen. Every corner whispered stories of her childhood. But that day, she was not expecting to uncover a story from before she was even born. While clearing an old yam barn behind the house, her machete struck something solid under the soil. Curious, she dug with her bare hands until she pulled out a small rusted tin box wrapped in plastic. It was sealed with a strip of faded cloth. Inside there was only one thing, a yellowed envelope carefully sealed. The handwriting on the front made her heart skip. It was addressed to a name she knew too well, Nkechi Okoye, her grandmother. The sender's name, written in bold strokes, was Emeka Nwosu. Adanna hesitated before opening it. Her grandmother had passed 2 years ago, and she had never once heard her speak of any Emeka. With trembling hands, she tore the envelope open. My dearest Nkechi, if you are reading this, then perhaps fate has been kinder than I expected. I leave this here because I do not know if I will survive what tomorrow holds. Our families have forbidden us to be together. But I cannot go without telling you this. I love you and I always will. Yours forever, Emeka. Adanna read it 3 times, her pulse racing. She had grown up believing her. Grandmother's marriage to her grandfather was a perfect love story. But now this letter suggested there was someone else. That night, Adanna called her mother Ifeoma. Adanna. Mama, who is Emeka Nwosu? Ifeoma. Long pause. Where did you hear that name? Adanna. From a letter. Buried here. Mama, why do I feel like there's something you never told me? Ifeoma. Sighs. Because there is, but it's not my story to tell. It was your grandmother's. Her mother explained that in the late 1960s, before the Civil War, Nkechi had fallen in love with a young man from a rival family. The Okoyes and the Nwosus had been bitter enemies for decades, feuding over farmland by the river. When the war began, Emeka was drafted as a soldier. Rumor had it he never returned. Heartbroken, Nkechi eventually married Adanna's grandfather, but something in her eyes had always stayed distant. The letter lit a fire in Adanna's heart. Who was Emeka really? And what happened to him? She visited the town's oldest man, Baba Chukwu, who had been a close friend of her grandmother. When she mentioned the name Emeka Nwosu,